Hello everybody, we are in the basement of Huntington Memorial Hospital, underground in the maintenance and engineering department. But within this basement is a water wash booth, 8 foot, and we're just getting set up on the job site. We've got a plasma cutter. We're going to cut this old rusty washer out of here. We've already removed the spray bars, and you can see the extent of the damage down the side of the washer, just showing daylight through. And the tank is in terrible shape. So we're going to be pulling the tank and the washer out of here and getting this thing restored to its original condition. The spray chamber is going to stay. This spray chamber is in pretty good shape. We're removing that explosion-proof light fixture there. We're going to be removing this light fixture, which is not rated for the area, which is not legal, so that's going away. And then we're getting new Class 1 Division 2 light fixtures in the ceiling. I'll walk around and show the other side of the washer. And we've already pulled out the main manifold and the 2 spray bars. They've already come out clean. Here we're disassembling the pump. We've got our wires capped off in there. And the pump's coming off. There's the main suction out of the tank. Water, quick fill. You can see the extent of the rust there. And there's where we pulled the main manifold out of that hole there. We burned it out with a plasma cutter. And this whole backside is just rotted away, something fierce. You can see inside of there, and someone's patched this up with fiberglass. But this is an old Binks, and actually I'm going to take that. I collect those old vintage logos, so I'm going to take that old logo and hang on to it. And this old thing was, I'm guessing it's 50s because it's still put together with the old square nuts and bolts. But not many of those are intact. We're just going to put the plasma on the head of them and burn them off. But we're going to be demoing this entire washer out of here, and this panel is coming out. It's going to be taken off along that seam. That plate's coming out, and all the way down to the floor. That's where the tank starts, and that tank's coming out. And the service elevator here at Huntington Memorial is not big enough to accept that tank. So what we're doing is we're bringing the tank in 2 pieces down here into the basement, and we have to weld it together here in the basement in 1 piece. And I've already got people inside the washer starting to plan on their cuts and getting this thing pulled out of here. And here we're back as a lunchtime shot. We've actually started pulling the washer apart. Got the side of the washer opened up. Pump's gone. Electrical's capped off. Main induction pump is burned out of the side of the tank, and not a whole lot of cutting needed to be done. Most of it was just rotted and it just fell apart. There we got the main manifold out, the spray bars out, and there's the cross section of the washer section. But we've got a roll on it, and we're getting a good start at it right now. So yeah, I'll take another shot at the end of the day. And here's another quick shot showing our progress. We're just getting set up to continue with our washer demolition. We got more than half the washer out. We were past the bulkhead and we're over to the opposite wall. Back wall's still coming out. I'd like to mention that everyone on the Bar Z crew is trained in confined space hot work, which is tricky. You have to purge the area, make sure there's no hazardous vapors, ventilation, things like that. And hopefully by the end of today, all that's going to be left is the tank down at the bottom. And there's the opposite wall. And you can see quite a bit of these holes and the damage inside.
got the spray chamber just temporarily propped up, and we're going to be down just the raw roof panels. We're doing all the rough demo now. Those are just rough cuts right next to the flanges, and then we'll go in and surgically remove all the nuts and bolts. They have to be cut out, and we'll go from there. But nothing happens fast around here. And all the pieces that we're cutting out, we have to make them very small. They have to fit through these double doors, and then through this single door. And then here they get stacked up here. And just run them out on a pallet jack, and the elevator is way down that hall. And the freight elevator is the only way to get stuff in and out of this basement. There's no other exits. There is a small stairwell, but it's even smaller than the freight elevator. But that's the continuation of our project. And here we are with our demolition complete. We've still got our support structure in there to hold the spray chamber up. The spray chamber is just nothing now. It's just a simple little shell. The washer is the magnitude of this unit. The floor angle is in bad shape. It's pretty rotted through. That's going to get just a repair with some fresh galvanized, like a 4x2 sheet metal angle bolted to the floor and then screwed to the wall after the washer's in. But the washer is completely out, and the whole area has been cleaned. And like I say, we're in the basement, and that black hole right there that you see, they've got an offset box in there, and I doubt if you can see all the way up, but you're looking up 4 floors. The fan itself is on the second floor. There's a muffler on the 3rd floor, and then it goes up through 3 and 4 and into a box on 5. And out of the side of that box, there's a louvered discharge, and actually it's lined with acoustical sound deadening. It's very quiet up on the roof. You can hardly even hear the blower running. And I'm sure that's for the patients in the hospital. So it's nice and quiet. It doesn't keep them awake. But our demolition is complete, and I'm gonna shoot some more video when it's time to put the washer in. And it's the one and only panel we actually saved, and we only saved it for measurement purposes so the new washer gets built correctly, so we get the right fan offset so that duct lines up again. But that's 2 pieces of tank there, 2 pieces of tank there, and some more washer down there. And they've already hauled out quite a bit of it, but we're packing it out of here, and here comes the boys to start loading our stuff out of the basement. All right, well, my next video won't be for another month or so after this washer gets built, and we'll go from there. Done. So back at Huntington Memorial Hospital, we've got a washer that was completely knocked down, spray booth washer, and everything came down that hall on a freight elevator to the left, and the actual water tank had to be brought down in 2 pieces. There's the 2 pieces of the water tank. They're doing the weld prep on it right now. So that thing gets welded together tomorrow, and we can build a washer on top of that water tank. So that's fun. Okay, and here's an end of the day shot. Our tank is in place, and our seam is welded. That right there is a seam we welded here in the field. So that's us there.
This is the main tank. Over there is the induction screens. There's 2 sets of screens that filter the water, and then on the far side is the pump well. That's the main pump well, and that little box there is the float well, where the water maintains its water level. We got the whole back wall of the washer done, and the center bulkhead is in. That's where the spray bar goes. So that's in, and the washer's just right now it's just hollow. There's nothing in here. That's the end bulkhead fitting for the clean out, for where you can rot out the tube. And all these seams on the upper part of the washer, before we bolt them together, that's a urethane single component seam sealer that we squirt in there with a caulking gun, and then we bolt the panels up, let it squish out, and then lay it off with our nasty little fingers. So it's a messy process getting all this this goo in there and getting these washers sealed where they don't leak, because you get a water vapor all the way up to the top of the washer. We've got a small rough cut hole right there. The final hole gets cut when the washer's finally assembled. Right now it's still loose and wiggly. We haven't completed a box yet. It's still wide open over there. So as soon as the washer is a structure and quit moving around, we can make the final cut on that hole. And that's a 34-inch round hole. We just cut a quick 20-inch hole just so we can stick our head in there and mark it and get it cut out. But yeah, we got our worry. We're doing good here today, and we're doing all this in place. The spray chamber is here and in place, so we didn't have the luxury of getting the spray chamber out of our way. But right here, we're within about a ½ inch of where we need to be there. We'll just after it's built, we'll just swing it in with crowbars and bolt it up to the washer up to the spray booth. And show you what we got going on around here. This pump is very different from the other setup that was here before. If you remember earlier in this video, they actually had a pump sitting to the side down on the floor. This one uses a gusher type pump into this pump well right here, and this is a plug pump that goes in from the top. What's nice about those is if they blow a seal, it just leaks the water back to tank. The other ones are the external pumps. If they leak, they're messy and they get water all over the place. 2 plugs on the side. Bottom one's a drain, top one's an overflow. Simple enough. All right, I'll shoot some more at the end of work tomorrow. And back at Huntington Memorial Hospital, and I was going to show you our progress. For those of you who want to take a look inside this gang box, looks like a hand grenade went off in here. Looks like we crashed into a tool supply store at about 60 miles an hour. But that's about as neat as these toolboxes get. I can't keep up with these guys. They're just so bad at putting stuff away. And I try to stay organized. I make them little blocks with drill holders and bit holders and things like that, but they just it gets messy. So anyways, yeah, for those of you interested, that's one of my gang boxes. What I was going to show you was the inner workings of the spray bar, and it just uses plastic flanges. They're all slip flanges, which is nice for helping line stuff up. And it's just a 3-inch pipe with 3/8 holes drilled in it. And then they thread a piece of all thread right down the top, right into the plastic with a little lock nut on it. And then to control your water curtain, you actually adjust this little deflector up and down to control the water curtain. I'm going to show you where this goes inside the washer. And it's a pretty simple system. I'm going to try to zoom in on that there. I'm going to use a pencil to try to illustrate what happens here. This is a cross section. This is the water tank, and your water level is right about here. So this front curtain that is removable is actually blocked, and it's down below the water level. You've got a piece of ductwork coming up here and your outgoing air. So this rear chamber is under a vacuum. All the air that comes into the spray booth this way. I'll let that thing focus again. There we go. All the air that comes this direction has to go through this slot right here. So the air comes in, passes around the spray bar, down this back chamber here, hooks a U-turn, and out. This pipe you see here is the spray bar I just showed you. And inside, that water is cascading in this direction and this direction. So the air actually has to make 2 passes across a water curtain, plus there's water running down this plate and this plate that sends it back to tank. So as the overspray and the overspray laden air is coming in, this is the first water curtain it hits. It makes 2 trips past a spray bar, and then there's another water curtain back here that's constantly running back to tank. And after this, the velocity of this slot play a crucial role in the way it opens up here slightly. We wanted to decrease velocity as it hooks this U-turn. You notice this is a very large chamber back here. This is to keep from carrying water vapor up the exhaust duct. So that's a cross section of the unit. Top view. This one's showing the pump and the main manifold going in, and then the spray bar obviously through the side, and the pump well off to the side. And there's the picture of the gusher. It's not focusing again. There's a picture of the gusher pump. There's a side elevation of it. Let me try to get that thing to focus on that side. It's just not going to do it, is it? Okay, but both spray bars prepped. You know, and there's a one of my workbench carts. I just put bin boxes on shelves, steel top bench with a vise on it, nice urethane rollers with brakes on them, and we just roll it out of the trailer and roll it into a job site. These carts are great. The only thing bad about them is they get pilfered a lot. If I don't stash them out of the way, people walk by and go, "Oh, I need one of those," and they just grab whatever they want out of my cart. So it gets pilfered quite often, so I'm kind of actually used to that. And inside, they got the washer shell up. We still need to get the side plates and baffles and everything inside, but they got a good run at it there. And we're still, hopefully today, we'll have the shell completed and some of the guts in it and these spray bars mounted. But that's our goal for today. All right. We'll catch you up here in a little while again.